evening, MG. It's been a while. It's been a while. Where have you been? Okay, there's. I've given 9 minutes already. Let's get straight to it. There's no time. There's no time. There's no time. How's the trading week? Have you gotten an account yet, or you're still waiting? How is everything going? Good evening. If you're just joining us, kindly tell us your name and where you're joining us from in the comments. Kindly tell us your name and where you're joining us from in the comments. So it's how's everybody's week anyway? Let's start from small, from little to complex. How's everybody's trading week? Oh, my screen, I'm not sharing it, sorry. So Obi Daniel, yeah. Saw you last week Monday. I saw you this Monday, I guess. So basically, this is something that we do every week, twice a week on Monday and then on Friday. Every week, every week, every week. Sadly, it is purely for the community members because this is where we'll talk about all the trades we take for the week and the reasons behind those trades and what. So from last week, Monday, we talked about something. We talked about many pairs on Monday. It wasn't even many though. Talked about just for one. Let me talk about 1, 2, 3, 4, just four. So we're starting from the top. From the top. How did we do it that last time that we ended? GBP USD is the first from this week analysis. Okay, it was like that, but this one came last because I dropped the chart wrongly. So that's why USD card came last. So after USD card, GBP NZD is correct now. So on Monday, I talked about this guy selling. I said it. Look at the map here. Look at the map I dropped here. That it is going to sell. And as you are looking at this guy now, did it sell or not from when I dropped it? And if you remember, if anyone that is on live call will know that this entry that is here, I dropped it on the live call, but I refuse to drop the entry on the channel because most of you just come to take entries and then go and place your this and go. So most of you do not even join to know how those signals I take, how did they come about? You don't have to just wake up, carry signal, they go your house. You don't even concern you whether the signal and nothing concern you. You're just waiting for entry to be sent. Once entry enter, you don't carry am, you don't dey run. So that's why I said this particular trade, I will not drop it. I just put these two here for people that are on live to see it. And that's it. 3R smashed. The trade triggered on Monday. On Tuesday morning, TP have already been smashed. 3R. That's it. That's it. So what am I going to do? Carry the way I set it that day to the group. So on Monday, what are we expecting on GBP USD? As you can see, I said it, this is where it's coming to. And as you can boldly see, it came to that place and rejected 3 solid times and closed all above it. That's where I'll stop this night on the pair. So on Monday, I'll tell you what we are looking out for GBP USD. But for now, did you miss this trade? Did you take it or you hit a sell? You slept on it. I'll drop it now. So first trade of the week, 3 hour delivered nicely. 3.2 hour delivered. The reason why I don't use the point at the end is because some brokers take commissions, some brokers take swap fees. In fact, you left it overnight. It was on Monday, you left it to Tuesday morning. They take charges and stuff like that. So that's why I incorporate all these things to my 3 hour. So when you hear me say my trade is always 3 hour, 3 hour, they are more than 3 hour. Oh. Some they do 3.5, 3.6, 3.7, 4, 5. But I keep them at 3 hour for reasons being that even though your journal is 3.33, you're looking at your history and you see more money inside your account. Those small money that add, those 3.5, 3.3, they're all money. If I'm risking $1,000 to make $3,000 and I end up making 3.5, I didn't make 3,000, I made $3,500. If I'm risking $100 to make $300 and my TP was 3.5 hour, I'm not making 300, I'm making 350. So all those small points, this, points that, they're all money if you add them up. If you have 3.5, 3.6, 3.2, 3.4 throughout the week, you can see that all those points can make up 1 hour or 2 hour added to your money. At the end of the day, they are all your money. So let's start putting all those charts to work. Everything from Monday, you start seeing them here. So the first one is GBP USD. I'll copy and I'll paste. So the second one we're looking at this week is GBP NZD. How did it do? GBP NZD. How did it do? So GBP NZD, what was my bias on it? Okay, this one is when I hit the sell. I said this thing already that day that I don't like this pair. The reason why I don't like it is because the pair is very sluggish in nature, very sluggish, and to give you 3 hour on higher time frames, hey Jesus, you gas, you go beg, you go beg tire before this I will give you 3 hour. You go beg. So this one, it was the first one to trigger self that Monday morning. The first triggered and I'm like, whoa. And it triggered, did almost 1 hour, and boom, took us out. So for me now, what will I say? Not because a loss is a loss, whether you like it or not. If you take a loss, take it like a champ and go. So for GBP NZD, a loss was taken like a champ. But then there's no how it's a loss. Of course, it's not even a break even because it didn't clear these lows for it to break even. So it's a loss. No need. We are good. Even with our 3 hour on GU, we are still in profit on this guy. So I'll see paste it here for GBP USD. Control V. Excel. Our losses and our wins always make it to the chart, whether you like it or not. You always make it to the chart. So the third one for the week is what we looked at was USD JPY. USD JPY I don't know. I don't want to say that it is my best for this week because it was so crazy that I said this guy is going to do this, and actually he did that. It is very sweet to watch, right? Very sweet to watch. The buy was sweet, and he hit TP almost immediately. He smashed TP almost immediately. So looking at it right here, you see that every pattern came back, hit, and boom, ready to take profit. There's nothing like he didn't do this, he didn't do that. It was decent, it was clean. And when we opened on Monday, it was somewhere here. Look at it, Monday. And I said it's going to buy to this point, and he did it. This trade was dropped on Friday last week. Was dropped last week on the channel. So if you held it, congrats. And for you to find another entry again when this thing broke here with body and closed above with body, you look for break of structure, liquidity, and POI. This POI here, you can easily take another buy from here. But I'm not going to journal this one for you. But I keep saying this every time. Your trade, you're joining this group, this channel, these calls for a reason. For a reason. So you can learn. So you can learn. This is a break of structure. All this thing here that all your liquidity. Once price comes to this place, take your buy. But the point now, you're taking your buy from here. Where is your take profit? This high you are seeing, this one closest here. Finish. It's not going to be something extra. Just that particular one. Just that particular one. You took your trade from here and then your stop loss somewhere here because this is your other block now. Stop loss should be somewhere here. Yes, somewhere here. The take profit is 1:3, nothing added. It's somewhere here. You're out. You're out. You can see once it did 1:3, it started dancing around, started doing as if it's coming back and it's going up like that. Because once that liquidity has been taken, price will bounce around. So 1:3 is what you're sure of. That's what you're sure of. 1:3, you are good. And that's it for the week. So for USD JPY, we had this one from last week. What am I doing? And then this one from this week. So for me, this is 3R, this is 3.6R. So we are good for this week. So this is going to the channel. And are you taking these trades that I dropped this week? The two of you here, MJ, Obi Daniel, are you guys taking this trade or you're just here watching? Every week you come and watch. Every week you come and watch. Are you taking them? I really want to believe that you are. Because if you're not, you're just here, you're learning, of course, or you are earning. So you're supposed to be learning and also earning. It's win-win for you guys. It's win-win. So this is a win. And the last one, but not the least, the second to last one is USD GBP card. GBP card, we were anticipating a sell. We were anticipating a sell on GBP card. So let's see. God, shit, this guy missed. This guy missed. He paid me, sha. So this one missed, and as you can see, it missed. But now ask ourselves, why did he miss? I don't know, because this is my break of structure. But then this gap here, I shouldn't have put the liquidity as that gap. But then there's no There's no other block for me to sell from this place. So, and then this one broke structure here, liquidity, and this cannot be a POI. This one broke structure here, this liquidity, and the POI will be this extreme. So even at that, I'll still miss this one. So this guy, Mississippi, finish. It's a missed trade. Whether I would like it or not, I will say miss them. Because look at all these ones. This one, they came for the extreme. Look at it. That's how to back test. Look at it. This one came for the extreme. This one came for the extreme. This one came for the extreme. And then this one won't come when you. If you can't jump enter inside here, you go extreme. So it's normal. It's normal. Missed trade is part of the game. So this one is a missed trade. It's part of the game. You can miss some, you win some. So all of them are not gonna be a winning trade. Jesus, I'm tired. So the last one for the night is USD card. That's actually the first one we did that night, but then the entry I dropped was cooked. So I had to the entry I dropped that day has no, I upped the number this thing, so I have to drop it again. So that's why it became the last USD card. We are also looking for a sell on this guy. Jesus Christ. Kai. Are you seeing how trading is? But there's still a good news. There's still good news. We missed this. Sorry, we lost this. It's on a Monday, this particular one, we lost it. But if you watch closely, you see that it's a loss because I said it already during the call on Monday that there are two highs on the stop where price obviously reacts from. And if you recall, you see, I told you that price have bounced off this zone for a very long time. So what market did now is let me collect more liquidity from this up and then continue going my downside. So what do you have to do to avoid that? Nothing. Your break of structure was correct. Your liquidity was correct. And then you choose the apex, which is the extreme for your POI entry. And if you watch, it tapped in this first one and dropped almost 2 hours. Look at it. Okay, almost 1.7 hour. It tapped in, dropped 1.7 hour. For me, I didn't think it broke this low. You can now break even. So break even, even if you break even, so it's still good for you, but I don't know. I don't like break evens anymore. So it came back and took you out. So taking you out, you cannot just say, oh my, this thing took me out, and then you sold. You can't begin panic, you can't begin sell again. You should take it out again. That's when you start blowing account. Can you see it? This is kind of trade that will make you blow account because you entered, came down, it came back, took you out, sold again, you enter again, it took you out again, you sold again, it came back again, took you out again. The problem is you start blowing account. So the same sorry guys, I didn't need water. Jesus. So once you take a setup, there are confluences you check, there are things you look out for before taking that setup. So if this one fails, don't just take a setup again. No. Look for another break of structure, look for another liquidity, and then buy. So if you did what I just said now, you can see that this one has failed. Let me check for price delivery and know what's up. That's the Monday. You can say, okay, if I trade only this pair, I'm closing shop for the day. USD card, XL for Monday, no problem. On Tuesday, you came, you saw this sweep happened, and I seen this break to the downside. This is obviously your liquidity zones. This is obviously your liquidity. Seeing this break now, breaking this down, breaking this down, breaking this down, all this here becomes your liquidity. What do you do next? This becomes your target. This is your order block. Remember how I told you to mark order block. Remember how I told you to mark order block. So this is purely the order block. And then guess what? Price came back on a what? on a Thursday night and triggered your position. So now you're not bothered again whether this price is coming to take my up or take my whatever up. It's not coming here again because it has cleared the high that has refused to be cleared for months, almost a month. This is February, this is February 5th, and this is March, almost a month. So the price have been in this place. So now you have cleared it, they have swept this high. So now going to this place, this low, is no longer, it's not going to be hard again because the high has been swept. So put your entry and drag your distance to 3R and you're cooked. That's it. You lost one on Monday and you come back on Friday. Who won? You won because you lost one and now you made 1.3.5. Even if you leave it down to this place, you make 4 point something, which it will hit before 10 p.m. or Monday morning. But you've secured your bag by just following the simple rules. Break of structure, liquidity, POI is not going to be hard. Yes, this key level is no longer fresh because I've been tested so many times. That is why this sweep here was very, very necessary for you to work with. Very, very necessary. So if you took this loss on Monday, I believe that you should be on the sell. It's happening right now. So for USD CAD, one loss and one win. So if you have any question, you can drop your question so I can show you how the entry group worked. I don't need to call it signal group, but then that's how the whole world calls it. So, but then it's an entry group. Entry meaning where I drop my entries and how it panned out for the first week of March. So any question we still have time today. I thought I'm going to discuss about something this week. And the thing I want to discuss about is based on the bad habits that trading comes with. Like I already promised you that everything I'm going to telling you about is based on life experience. It's not something that someone told me, something that another person did or whatever. It's something that I am battling with. So if you have any question, drop it on the chat. I'll look at it and answer them right now. I'll give you 2 minutes. If you don't, I'll talk about what I have for today. Then I call it a night. And also for the for my community, this is how our week was. This is how on the Telegram entry group. This is how our community was. So I don't like sharing my whole window though, but let me just enter this. Why am I sharing the whole window? No, cancel. Let me just share the Telegram group. Why am I sharing the whole window? So this is how it's here. So I believe you can see my screen now. Okay, yeah, you can see it now. So basically, this is everything that happens in the group. Everything. This one is the one that you are on. If you are not in this group, you're really missing. There are 58 of you here. 58 of you here. 58. So if you are not here, you're missing a lot. So Everything we did for the week is here. This was Monday. This was Monday. And then this is the trade we called. No, this Friday. Where is Monday? This was March 2nd. This is Monday. And this was the life on Monday weekly analysis. And look at it. Our gold by our GBP USD sell bias. So the TP. This one, I think this one was a loss at the beginning. I don't forget. No. This one was a TP. This one was a missed. This one was a loss and a win. And finally, this one happened. So that's all for the general free group. So the place that I charge for is the traders hub. What happened here is where I call my trade entries. This is where I call my trade entries. I call the trades with precision. I don't just call the trades like because I feel like or vibes or whatever. No. The trades that are dropped here are being dropped with precision. This Monday, the 2nd, is the week of March. So it's going fast to get there. And that's where I'm going to start from. Good. This is Monday, March. Yes. This is our journal for the month of February. Last week of February, the 4th week of February, we did 12% on the channel. This is it, 12% for that was last week result. So from this week, this was carryover from last week. You saw that we bought 22 weeks to reward, whatever. For people that held it for that long ago, I'm sure not all of them held it anyway. But then that's a decent risk to reward. And then I started with this JBP USD buy. And on Monday, if you remember on Monday, I said on the general life that USD JPY, we are buying. I said it on the live. I didn't give you entry. I didn't give you whatever. I told you we are buying. And we bought. So this is the first trade that we dropped for the week. And the second trade is silver. Buy limit for silver. And these trades were spectacularly fast to TTP. See how decent the trade were, the entries, the TPs, the SLs, well written, and boom, TP hit for the silver almost immediately. I dropped the setup around 11:29, around 1:30, TP has been hit, 3R secured, and then 150 USD JPY have hit TP, and this TP is approximately 4R cleared for the day. On Tuesday, we came into the gold sell and it was missed. The silver sell, it was missed. And then so ahead, I went to enter the silver sell. I told them to sell, and that was a mistake. Just because there's no trade taken on Tuesday, I wanted to just do something, and it was a loss. And that was all for Wednesday. On Thursday, we had this gold buy. It was decent. Sorry, silver buy. It was decent. And then price entered, but started struggling because it's already late. And I told everybody to close out that the PA is bad. 6 to 7 p.m. Nigerian time, told them to close out. I closed for the day. That was me. Once I tell you close out, the trade has already been added to the journal as a closed trade. Whether I hit TP the next day or not, no longer concern me again. Because what I do is tell you what to do and then expect you to do them. It's as simple as that. So the next morning, the trade entered profit in the night and ETP in the morning. I clearly said it. Look at it. I said it. Delete opening orders. Every day is a new day for new opportunity. So that day, I dropped, I think it's yesterday, yes, yesterday, I dropped silver sell, gold sell, silver sell, and then a gold sell. This trade really taught me patience because it went from profit to deep drawdown, to deep drawdown. More than half of the account, deep drawdown. Like, okay, I still held it and then went back again to break even, started going, and then boom, TP hit. That was crazy. From entry to almost 1 hour, back to deep drawdown to almost 1 hour, back to break even, and then boom to TP. So if you're the person that plays around with break evens, you will lose money. You will lose money. And also, silver danced around, stopped at 2 hour, and that was it for the day. I told everybody you can close your trade, and then if your business, that's your business. The next morning, that is Friday today, the silver did solid 2 hour before reversing. So if you close that day, no problem. But I don't know this particular trade as a break even because 2 hour is not needed in my journal. It's either 3 hour above or break even. Break even does not mean that you didn't make money. Break even means that you made one, you made two, you made nothing, but you did not lose money. And then for today, I told them in the morning that I'm done for the week. There's no volatility in the market. Let's just journal and rest for the week. But then when NFP came, I happened to be on my chart. I'm like, okay, NFP has released, gold has pumped already. It must retrace a bit before continue pumping. And I'm doing this for a very, I don't like reading news. That's why I told them not to. But then news have been released and I've relaxed a bit. And I called the news was released around 2:30 and I called this by around 2:37. So your prop firms can carry them because prop firm says you do not trade 5 minutes before or after the news. So 2:30 news release, 2:37 I called the sell. We are good. So the gold sell risking my account here and TP1 hit in few minutes, TP2 hits, and then 3 hour hit. And that was it for the day, for the week. That's how we closed for the week. And if you look at this point, and I told them this last win, I didn't even journal it because I've already journal in the morning. This journal already in the morning. Because if a new person enters your channel and wants to look at your results, and the person is seeing edited, it will look fabricated. Do you understand? It will look fabricated. So once I've written my journal for the week, that's it. So the added 3 hour we added, so we should have been 13 hours this week, but I wrote 10. That is how to be accountable. Do it for yourself. You're not doing it for me. You're not doing it for counselor. For the fact that it is not, look at some week, we did February 3rd, like 3rd week of February, and 2nd of February was crazy. 5 losses, different days. So, and in 1 week, we covered it back. And now, 12 hour, and then this week, 10 hour. It will always keep going that way. Keep repeating the same process. Yes, it's boring. It's boring. It's going to bore you out. But that boring process, it's what is keeping you away from profitability. Those boring things you do every day, those are the things that will keep you profitable. So let me remove my Telegram first before I answer this question. So someone dropped a question. Oh, Obi. And the question is, so we're already done. So let me just talk about the question. The question is, hi, counselor. I would like to ask you, I would like to ask how you trade news. Most times I just close my trades because of upcoming news events. Is there a way you trade news? Thank you. Obi Daniel, I don't trade news. You shouldn't. That's my answer. I think you get that right. I don't trade news, and I don't think you should. News trading will wreck you. It is fast, but it's not consistent. It is not something you should do. If you take the prop account, the prop will tell you do not trade news 5 minutes after or before the news. They are protecting themselves and helping you. I cannot recount how many accounts I've lost due to news trading. But the only problem, the only thing I'll ask is this. If you are already in a trade, if you are already in a trade hours before the news, and you've already done 3 hour, 4 hour of your trade, the only thing, and you know that you followed simple structure. The problem is people are thinking that news just comes and scatters everything for you. That's a lie. That is a lie. No, that's a lie. I just like I want to share something for you, but I don't want to share my screen. Let me just check the screen before I share it. So you don't trade news, don't come and scatter technicals. People say this thing last 2 years, last 3 years, I was believing it. But bro, news follows structure. News follows structure to the T. Jesus. News follows structure to the T, like to the last T. For example, the most volatile pair that we know around lately is gold, right? Is gold. And today, when the news released, I sold gold, but gold bought, but I made money selling. So let me show you this chart and then we close for the day. Let me show you this chart and we close for the day. So this is the gold sell today. Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen? I believe you can already, so it's showing. So as you can see, this was the sell we took yesterday, Thursday, whatever, whatever, and my TP was cleared. Remember, I did not put my TP somewhere here. I did not put my TP here. My TP was decent, 3 hour. And then people that held a little longer can make at least 4 hour or more. So that said, gold later tried to reverse, came to this place, and was doing this downhill before the news opened. When the news opened, what happened? News opened. Let me use 15 minutes time frame because that was when where the noise is much louder. So gold got here and started doing this thing downhill, and news happened. The news happened, went up like this, and I sold from here. Why did I sell from there? It's simple structure. It is simple structure. It is simple structure. Selling from here, simple structure. Took my profits back. Gold continued buying. Where is gold buying to? For the fact this up here has not been taken, gold is still bearish. So this thing that happened did not disrupt anything. It did not disrupt anything. My friend was selling NAS. News opened, NAS kept selling massively. Check other pairs that I trade. This is silver. What changed? Like, what changed? Nothing. This is still the high that will get taken out. You start looking for buys. But I can decide today, only say I don't want trade again. When price came back here, I can try to call this trade again for my members to take it. Calling it again means that I'll reduce my stop loss because my entry will now be, let me just do this again and then I'll end. My stop loss will now be this thing here is now my stop loss, which means this is the only thing you will see. This is my order block and everything. So my entry will be here. My stop loss will be somewhere here. Yes. To save whatever drawdown that might happen. And then take profit will be somewhere here. But we'll still end up breaking even because the bastard don't even give me 3 RA still. But the structure is the structure. So when the news was released, you saw that price went from here, came to this short again, and dumped and came up again. So coming up again now is clearing this guy probably to sell from this high again next week. But till then, I don't know. To this one again, did this one change structure? No, it did not. It did not. If you look GJ very well, it did not change structure. It's following the same thing. It is just you don't understand the concept first and you are rushing to go and do something. I've been selling USDJPY, GBP USD for a while. Look at it. It's purely bearish here. It's purely bearish. And until this high gets taken and closes above, not even this high itself, this high, we are not doing anything extraordinary. So this sell now that have gone almost 2 hours came back again and hit break evens because there is not enough liquidity to keep going down. 2.4. But people will say that news came and fucked up their analysis. It did not fuck any of your analysis up. You're not just good at analyzing nicely yet. If you are good at analysis, clearly you will see that news will follow your structure. Maybe the entry will be rusty because of the volatility of the market at the time you opened, the news and everything, but your directions will be respected. So this is not a cue for you to go and start trading news. Don't trade news, but news follows your analysis. Look at you, sir. Look at you, sir. Like this, I've been buying this thing since last month. Look at it. I've been buying this since last month. Did I say now, oh, news is coming, let me leave my position? It's a lie. It's a lie. If you want to buy this guy, it's simple. This is your break of structure. This is your liquidity here. This is your entry for this small one. Another break of structure here. Find liquidity, enter. And this one likes using breaker blocks. You need to find entry and enter. Stop saying I want to trade news. What do I do differently? Nothing. Nothing. Just understand your structure, nicely, and then cook. Understand structure and cook. That's all. So what do I have in mind? Just the bad habit of trading, right? So I will end with a few things. If you've not liked this video, like this video right now. Unless you didn't learn anything from me, don't like it if you did not. But if you did, kindly like the video. So I said a few things about trading habits and all. And I saw something somewhere this week. Once I'm done trading, I just go around and scroll around on X and play around and then come back. I'm a human being, you understand. So I have to be me. So most traders do not stay trapped in a losing streak just because of the market. Most of them stay trapped because of how they react to it. Like, we are a result of how we react to situations. If you hear bad news, how do you react to it? If you hear something good, how do you react to it? There are people you buy a car for, they will tell you thank you. And genuinely, they are happy that you bought them a car. But the thank you is the highest they can do. And then there are some that you buy them a phone, Jesus, you will not rest. Like they will be on your head, they will be everywhere, they will be like they they express those things differently far from other people. So that is why the reason why I would teach MJ the same thing I taught Obi Daniel, but the two will come out with different results because they are different individuals. I'll tell MJ I don't use break even, but MJ likes break even because his trades are swing trades. So how do you tell someone that will keep a trade for 1 month, for 2 weeks, not to use break even? The person will go and use break even because if he did not use that break even, he will lose money at the end of the day. But someone that is day trading, that is scalping, nothing concern that person with trading with break even because his entry is at 15 minutes, 30 minutes, breaking even at 30 minutes. What is that? So after few losses, decision making begins to change. You made your rules yourself and said, this week I'm going to be taking one trade in a week or one trade in a day or something like that. But you just woke up one day and changed your trade because of what? You took two losses in a row. Why did you do that? Why? Because you are a human being and you are very much entitled to change anything you want to change. And that is what messes people up. You start forcing setup that barely respect your rules. You take trades from boredom, frustration, or the urge to recover quickly. Let me tell you my own problem. If I want to do something with money, I go ahead and fund the account I want to do something with, and I start flipping it. That's my problem. And I have formed this thing to make me comfortable in doing nonsense. Why do you want to buy something of 1 million naira and you are funding 200K to flip it to 1 million? Why did you trade the other money you made? Is it not to ease your life? Why are you trying now to play God in the grand scheme of things? Yeah, sometimes it will work, sometimes it will not work. And then you end up adding more money and you still get what you want to. Like, you're already pissed off that you blew account. And then for you to feel good about yourself, you fund again because you have money. And then you continue being in circles, continue being in circles, continue being in circles. And when you find out you've lost money that you like money that you compounded for months, you've lost it in 1 week. Just because you said, I want to be a man, let me try this thing, go hard or go home. Bro, you will go home. So when you start doing those things, you start increasing your risk slowly. Your patience disappears. What you should have done is like what should have been a small drawdown turns into a week of damage, turns into blowing your funded account, turns into blowing your personal account. Not because your strategy failed though. Your strategy is very, very disciplined. It's okay. But because your discipline did, because you personally said, I'm not going to follow this rule. I want to chase this money directly. And then another mistake that is strategy hoping instead of reviewing what really went wrong, you become to abandon that system and then start doing another thing. You know what you trade is SMC, but you saw ICT people posting screenshots, you went and paid for the mentorship. Like, why can't you relax yourself and say that this thing is working for these people before I paid for it? Why can't I learn it and make it work for myself? 1 week of loss, you don't close shop, begin look for another person mentorship, begin pay for signal group, begin do this one, begin do that one. It shouldn't be. So instead of hoping on that, you start trying another strategy. You start experiencing another thing. Just to change that, what you're doing. Just like my friend said something last week. He said you can be consistently doing rubbish. Listen, you can be consistently doing rubbish. Like you are consistent in doing rubbish. But the problem is when this thing stops to work for you, you will know. But the problem is it's not working. It is working, but the problem is you fixing your discipline, fixing yourself, this rule I made for myself, why can't I fix it? Why can't I follow this rule I said I'm going to do? Why can't I do all these things